Hey up, it's that old Yorkshire geek here again. Not picking me nose this time. Like I did yesterday, at the beginning of my stream. I forgot to switch off my webcam. Caught me picking me nose. I don't know. Embarrassing. Let me adjust this microphone. There we go. There we go. Right then. Off we go. We've got lots of news tonight, and I've got a bit of breaking news, which we'll do first. So I'll make myself smaller. There we go. And we'll get the window up. Ba-doom. There we go. There it is. There's the breaking news. Oh, where's my mouse pointer? There. Exclusive. Mary Elizabeth Winstead's Star Wars character replacing Gina Carano's Cara Dune. Ooh. And this is from Giant Freaking Robot. As usual, all the links are in the description box below. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share the videos and use the notification bell. And what else? Drop a comment. Join the live chat if you're watching live. No live viewers at the moment. I'm talking to myself again. Don't matter. Anyway, off we go. There she is. There's Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I don't know what that's in. I don't know. Right. Ever since Gina Carano's ouster from the Star Wars franchise, and The Mandalorian specifically, fans have been wondering how or if the studio would seek to replace her in the story, and she shouldn't have been booted out anyway. Disgusting how they treated her. Sure, it wasn't likely that we would get a one-to-one recasting of Cara Dune, but a strong female presence, a fighter of some sort, was a critical piece of that story. There was definitely a void left when Carano was forced to leave. Now we might have an idea of what the Star Wars folks are thinking along these lines. Well, yeah, because they were going to do the Rangers of the New Republic, which was a series that were going to be based around Cara Dune, wasn't it? Then Kathleen Kennedy nixed that, didn't she, with sacking Gina Carano, for sharing somebody else's tweet. Unbelievable. I forgot where I want to. The latest Giant Freaking Robot exclusive from our trusted and proven source. So who's that then? Anyway, I have to follow that link to find out. What does it say? It just says confirmed on the link. Has it that Mary Elizabeth Winstead is being tapped as a pseudo replacement for Carano in the Mandoverse. While it isn't clear how exactly Mary Elizabeth Winstead will replace Gina Carano in this sense, I'm going to burp. Oh, I'm not. I might be yawning again tonight. I'm sorry. I don't know what's up with me these last few days. Maybe it's the weather. I don't know. But I'm yawning a lot and tired. So I'm on Pepsi Max. See if that gives me a bit of pep. That's what they call it, Pepsi for. I know it didn't. They don't call it. Hey. Sorry, I knocked me. I've got a pencil sharpener here, one of them rotary pencil sharpeners, and I just knocked it with my can. So if you heard a ba-doing, it was that. I'll start again. While it isn't clear how exactly Mary Elizabeth Winstead will replace Gina Carano in this sense, it is sure looking like her character story will eventually dovetail or at least intersect with Mando's either this season or next. Winstead's Star Wars character isn't known at this point and is being kept strictly under wraps by the studio. But we are first set to meet her in the events of Ahsoka, the series coming around Rosario Dawson's Jedi character who was first introduced in a live-action setting during The Mandalorian's second season. With this news that the studio is eyeing Mary Elizabeth Winstead to effectively replace Gina Carano in the Star Wars universe, I think we can make a fair assumption that she isn't going to be a Jedi of any sort, but rather some badass type who brings the fight to her doorstep when necessary. It'd be another Ranger probably, won't she? A Marshal of some sort. Oh dear. This was one of the things that made Gina Carano's Cara Dune such a fan favourite. Her clear comfort with throwing down and holding her own in a fight was a welcome breath of fresh air for the franchise. Yeah, but you could believe Gina Carano could throw down and hold her own in a fight, but Mary Elizabeth Winstead, I don't think so. While it's unlikely that Mary Elizabeth Winstead is a one-to-one replacement in this sense, it looks like the idea is to have her operate along the same archetypal lines. It will be interesting to see how it all plays out. This would have got another, female MMA star, or Ronda Rousey, or her off AEW, whose name I can't remember. It's clear that Mary Elizabeth Winstead can hold her own in this kind of production, having taken part in a number of different movies that showcase the sleek confidence and ability to dial up intense action scenes. Netflix's Kate was basically 106 straight minutes of this, with a titular assassin character on one last revenge tour through Japan. I've not seen that. I'll have to look that up. It was a frenetically paced, almost visceral flick, that Winstead completely carried. And she also played the Huntress in Birds of Prey for DC. I can't remember. I've seen it, but I can't remember what happens in it. After starting her career getting taken hostage in 10 Cloverfield Lane years ago, that wasn't her first film, surely. The actress has shown quite the range since. It is sure looking like Mary Elizabeth Winstead is set to become a much bigger part of the Star Wars franchise of series on Disney Plus. That doesn't make sense, does it? That started with the Mandalorian. Whatever. Because she's now interwoven into multiple storylines, there's a chance we see her for years to come. And with the news that an Ahsoka movie is in the works as well, is it? We might have a chance to see her on the big screen playing this new character. That's the first I've heard of an Ahsoka movie. I wonder who their confirmed sources. I hope it's not Mike Zero. So we click on this thing and see what it says. I've clicked the wrong thing. God, I'm stupid. Where is it? Where is it? Dear, trusted and proven. Who is it? It doesn't say. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. So anyway, so there you go. But they shouldn't have got rid of Gina Carano in the first place. And as I said, they should have got another, a buff woman who looks like she can, handle herself in a fight. Because Gina Carano certainly could. And she was gorgeous as well. So, double your money. Anyway. Anyway, so there you go. So that news dropped about an hour or two before I went live. Right, next up, Doctor Who. This is boring because it's about pound store Chewbacca. Doctor Who Season 13 star returning as new character in upcoming special. One of the stars of Doctor Who Flux, I didn't watch it so I don't know, will be returning to the show as a different character, in the new special Legend of the Sea Devils. One of the stars of Doctor Who's 13th season will be returning to play a new character in the next Doctor Who special, as Craig Else, who played a humanoid dog creature named Carvanista in Doctor Who Flux, has been confirmed to be returning to the franchise. The Jodie Whittaker era of Doctor Who is currently culminating with a trilogy of specials. These include the previously released Eve of the Daleks, the upcoming Legend of the Sea Devils, and a currently untitled third special that will celebrate the BBC centenary. Oh, right, a bit back already. I think they've done about a centenary celebration. I thought they meant Doctor Who. Oh, the BBC centenary. Oh, right. And see Whittaker's incarnation of the Doctor regenerate. Wonder what that'll be called. See ya! I hope. Look at it. Actually, it doesn't look that bad, does it, really? But it does look a bit like Pound Store Chewbacca. Pound Shop. Pound World Chewbacca. Legend of the Sea Devils would see the 13th Doctor and her companions, Yaz and Dan, defending a coastal village in 19th century China from pirate queen Madame Ching, and the terrifying Sea Devils. Madame Ching. I thought we'd done away with things like that. It's going back to what they call it, Talons of Wang Cheng, isn't it, or whatever they call that episode in the 70s. Anyway, the Sea Devils are a popular race of monsters from the show's classic era, first introduced in a 1972 serial as allies of Roger Delgado's Master and enemies of John Pertwee's Third Doctor. They are the ocean-dwelling cousins of the more well-known Silurians. Well, to me, sea devils were more well-known when I was a kid, because they look cool. A morally complex race of reptile people who ruled the earth before mankind evolved. Now, a recent issue of Doctor Who magazine has revealed some exciting new information about the upcoming Doctor Who specials, including the news that Els will be returning. Els has been cast as a character named Narcissus. No other details about this character have been revealed, although it has been speculated that he will be playing the Sea Devil featured in the episode's teaser. Els will not be the first actor to play more than one character on Doctor Who. Dan Starkey has played various Sontarans and a Christmas elf on the show between 2008 and 2021, while Peter Capaldi played Roman sculptor Lobus Cecilius in the 2008 episode The Fires of Pompeii, before returning to the show as the 12th Doctor in 2013. Guardians of the Galaxy star Karen Gillan also appeared in The Fires of Pompeii as a soothsayer before going on to play 11th Doctor companion Amy Pond. She can soothsay me any day. I'm a dirty old man. Very little is currently known about the upcoming special, but a conversation between Whittaker's Doctor and a malevolent manifestation of the concept of time, also portrayed by Whittaker in the final episode of the most recent series, suggests that it may feature the return of the Sacha Dhawan incarnation of the Master, who was last seen in the divisive Season 12 finale, The Timeless Children. The Sea Devils were originally introduced as allies of the Master, so it's certainly possible that the Doctor's arch-nemesis will return alongside them. The upcoming special is just one of many exciting things that Doctor Who aficionados currently have to look forward to. After Jodie Whittaker's final episode, Russell T Davies, who was responsible for the show's reboot in 2005, whatever, silly dates, and presided over one of its most popular eras, will be returning to helm the show during its 60th anniversary year alongside a currently unannounced 14th Doctor. It has also been rumoured that previous Doctors David Tennant and Matt Smith will be returning for the 60th anniversary special. It certainly is an exciting time to be a Doctor Who fan. Yeah, I suppose so. There you go. Right, next up. Foundation Season 2 first look revealed. I quite like Season 1 of Foundation, but I've never read books. Is there multiple books? I don't know. I think there is, isn't there? And I've never read them. So I couldn't really, say what were right and what were wrong. A lot of people have said they didn't like it and that they changed too much. But and it was a bit woke. All right, but a lot woke. But it was all right. It looked good. Anyway, Foundation is a slow sci-fi series, yet production seems to be moving along as fast as fans could dare hope. Apple TV Plus released the first sneak peek image from Foundation Season 2 last month, along with a few announcements about the new instalment. Fair warning, there are spoilers for Foundation Season 1 and the Foundation novels ahead. Foundation is loosely based on a series of science fiction novels by Isaac Asimov and was adapted to the screen by David S. Goyer and Josh Friedman. February's new image confirmed that the two main characters are returning, Jared Harris as Harry Seldon and Lee Pace as Brother Day. Well, technically Pace may not be the same character since he has already played several different cloned versions of the Galactic Emperor, while Harris will presumably be playing some kind of artificially intelligent apparition of the radical mathematician Seldon. Regardless, Apple also announced that the returning cast members include Lou LaBelle as Gail Dornick, Gail Dornick, Leah Harvey as Salva Hardin, Laura Byrne as Ito Demerzel, Terence Mann as Brother Dusk, and Cassian Bilton as Brother Dawn. It will also include 10 new cast members in exciting new roles. And there's Harry Seldon and Brother Day, and I can't remember her name, but she's like a machine, an android, isn't she? And I think she's the only one. This is the last one, because there was a big war when supposedly hundreds of years ago, thousands of years before this, or whatever. Isabella, is it Laughlin, whatever, will play Brother Constant. Brother? A new cleric charged with evangelising the Church of the Galactic Spirit throughout the Outer Reach. Kulvinder Gear will play Polly Verisov, another cleric of the church with some demons to face, Sandra Yee, oh God almighty, Sensindiver, I can't believe we got Smith. Recently featured in Amazon's Wheel of Time adaptation, which allegedly is crap, but I haven't watched it so I don't know. Will play Enjoyna Rue, a former courtesan to the Emperor and now a royal counsellor to Queen Sareth. Queen Sareth will be played by Ella Ray Smith. She's the ruler of Cloud Dominion and has now used her wit and charm to get into the Imperial Palace on a secret quest for revenge. Meanwhile, Dimitri Leonidas plays one of the few roles here drawn straight from the books, Hober Mallow, an interplanetary trader reluctantly pulled into the path of fate. Ben Daniels will play Bell Royce, a general intent on conquering the Foundation, while Hold McKellen will play Warden Jaggerfount of Terminus. Michael Persbrandt will play the Warlord of Calgon, who is described as a monster of a man, coiled with muscle and possessing powerful psychic abilities, which sounds suspiciously like the mule of Asimov's books. Finally, Rachel House will play a new character named Tellenbond, the leader of a mysterious group called the Mentalics. And they'll have heavy metal guitars. And Nimrat Kaur will play Yana Selden. And there's a video. I won't play because I've been getting bloody copyright things lately. You tried to tell them that it's all part of review and information and news and all that, and they don't believe you. Foundation is one of the most lauded series in the sci-fi fantasy genre, but it is difficult to adapt because of the episodic way Asimov wrote it. The books take place across hundreds of years with no characters surviving across the vast gulfs of time between chapters. The show made some changes to fill in the gaps, which have gotten mixed responses from fans. Foundation Season 1 is streaming now on Apple TV+. There's no official word on where Season 2 is at in the production timeline, and there's no release date in place for the new season yet. There you go. So like I said, I quite liked Season 1. This is when I had Apple TV+. I subscribed to it to watch For All Mankind, and I also watched Foundation as well. And now I've unsubscribed because they're not on anymore. So there you go. So we'll see how that does. Right, we're doing Star Trek again. Star Trek Starships. And this is on a Twitter thread. Dave Blass. I've put the link in the description. When Admiral Whitley sends Picard to deal with the new anomaly in space, she makes sure she sends plenty of backup. We get a look at 34 Starfleet vessels in the Stargazer. So old friends, some old friends and some new. That person there already made a chart, so I'm going to steal his. Anyway, so we get a look there. This is the chart. Obviously, so there's some of the ships. That's the Stargazer. That's the Sutherland class, and that's the New Excelsior class, and that's the La Serena there. Anyway, we'll go through them. We've got some better pictures coming up later, and that's a wide shot of them. And that's them in front of the Borg ship. It's like a knackered up Cylon base star, isn't it, from Battlestar Galactica. Anyway, so we'll go down. There we go, right. The first ship we see having issues with the anomaly is the lone USS Avalon, NCC 63887, an Akira-class starship. One of the few that is called out by name, original design by Alex Yeager, with modelling done by Thomas Marone, graphic on all charts, design by Jeffrey Mandel. Now we'll have a look. There we go. USS Avalon, Akira-class. That's the information about it. 1,524 feet long. I don't know how many decks they've got, but I mean, these are loosely, well, not loosely, really, well, a bit loosely, is what they used for the design of the Enterprise NX-01, didn't they? That's basically an Akira class in it, but they moved the nacelles up and made it a bit more rounded, didn't they? So there you go, so that's that one. Here we go, some more here. Our new hero ship, number 1, USS Stargazer, NCC 82893, drops in and is soon joined by the new, not refit, number 2, USS Excelsior, NCC 42037, the Sutherland class, number 3, USS Almagest, NCC 91870, and the USS number 4, Gagarin. Gagarin. I always say Gagarin because I heard Sean Connery pronounced it Gagarin on Hunt for Red October. And ever since then, for some reason, I always think Gagarin. But until then, I always say Gagarin. We've got another one of them weird things. Thinking the live chat, Zedric Kristalje Vun.fyi. What does it mean? Are the bots? I don't know. Is it the Russians invading? Could be. NCC 97930. Anyway, we'll look through these. There we go. There's the Stargazer. And I've got to admit, for once now, in the Kurtzman Star Trek, they've got some good-looking starships. Of course, they were bloody awful before. I mean, the Lacerena looks terrible as well. But now we've got some proper Starfleety-looking starships. These are pretty good. They are pretty good. There we go. Stargazer, Sagan class. It's grand, isn't it? Like I said, don't ask me how many decks. I'm sure there'll be something somewhere that'll come out that'll tell us a full breakdown of these. Maybe go look at Trek Yards. Maybe they know. I don't know, but they've got a good YouTube channel. Sometimes. Right, so there we go. That's the Stargazer. Obviously, the Stargazer. It's named that. They've used that because that was Picard's first command. Apparently, his captain died. He was I don't know if he a lieutenant or a lieutenant commander or commander. I don't know what rank he was, but his captain died. There was something happened, and he took command of the ship, and then he was given command of it. So it was his first command as captain. Obviously promoted to captain, and that was a Constellation class starship, but that had 4 nacelles as well. So they've kept that similarity, even though this is a Sagan class and not Constellation. Next, the USS Excelsior. This is the Excelsior 2 class starship. So I wonder why they didn't call the Stargazer Constellation 2 class. I don't know. Anyway, this is it's very sleek, isn't it? It's very I mean, the side profile there looks a bit lumpy there, but from above it looks very similar to the Sovereign class, doesn't it? Very, very similar, but it's still a nice shape. I've never been a big fan. A lot of people like the Excelsior class, but I've never really been a big fan. But from some angles it looks nice, and others it looks a bit lumpy to me. Particularly that thick neck it's got with the ribbon, the black ribbon round. But like there, you can just see some there. Look. Never liked that. But anyway, next up is the USS is that Almagest or Almagest? I don't know. Does that mean something? I don't know. I should look it up sometime, but I can't be bothered. This is a Sutherland class starship, which is a Nebula class variant, which basically uses a Galaxy class saucer section and nacelles, doesn't it? There we go. So obviously it's not the yeah, probably named after the USS Sutherland, the Nebula class that Data took command of during the Klingon Civil War and stopped the Romulans from crossing the neutral zone with a tachyon detection net. Next up, USS Gagarin. Said it right this time. That's good. It's its own class, Gagarin class ship. So obviously it's out of the experimental because it doesn't say NX97930. It's being given a full, whatever that is called, NCC. It's very nice. I'm not sure on these. Look a bit Star Trek Phase 2-ish, them, don't they? Look a bit jelly beany, but never mind. And what are these big yellow things here? What are they? Latching points, escape pods. Don't know if they're escape things. They're big, aren't they? Because it's a big ship. Not 492 metres. I think the Sovereign class is 600 and something metres, so it's like 2/3 the length of a Sovereign class. Anyway, what's that bit there? Don't know. Is that the shuttle bay? Is that a door that opens, slides up? Dunno. Was that the last one? Oh, that was the last one of them, that group. We'll go to the next lot. In position number 5, we have the Ross class USS Vanguard, NCC 7518. Number 6, this is referring, the numbers are referring to that chart at the beginning. Number 6, the Inquiry class USS Rustaj, NCC 86503. Is that a Klingon name? Don't know. Or is it Russian? I don't know. And number 7 brings us the joy of bringing back the Sovereign class and the USS Gilgamesh. A king! NCC 74669. Number 8 and another Sovereign class USS Valkyrie, NCC 74877. So there we go. USS Vanguard. Ross class starship is obviously a Galaxy class variant. They've fanning about with that's deflected dish, haven't they, a bit. And another one of these big yellow things here looks like a face, that, doesn't it? Like an emoji on the side of the saucer section. I'm not sure about that. Are they docking points or something like that? I don't know what they are. Or are they escape things? But no, because they've got escape pods all over the place, haven't they? What's that? What's that big thing there? That big lighted area there? Is that an observation lounge or deck or something? Because 10 forwards, like up here, isn't it? Across the front of the saucer section. But that doesn't seem to have them big windows like 10 forward had. Anyway, and apparently this has a lot more crew. The Galaxy class, I think it's about the same size-ish, I think, as a Galaxy class. I think. Yeah, I think, yeah, about the same size. And obviously the Galaxy class had just over 1,000 crew, didn't it? But I read somewhere the Ross class has something like 2,100 crew. So they've packed them in there. Anyway, next. USS Rustaj. I don't know how to pronounce it, and I don't know where it comes from. Inquiry class. Are these the ones that were seen at the end of season 1 of Picard? I'm not sure. And me, where they just copied and pasted a fleet of them to face off the Romulans, who had their own copy and pasted fleet because they're bone idle. Yeah, it looks alright, I suppose. More yellow things there. Look, obviously it's John Eves. John Eves must like them yellow things. It's okay. What's these white things? It gives it like a saw edge appearance, doesn't it? Like a serrated, like a blade. Is that deliberate to make it look more aggressive? I don't know. Here we go, Sovereign class, yeah, like the Enterprise E, but this is the USS Gilgamesh, a king at Uruk, NCC 74669. And there, see there, on about escape pods, they're escape pods, aren't they? Them little shaped things there. And this ain't got any yellow bits on. Ain't got any smiley faces. But yeah, lovely design. Another one by John Eves, and it's a great ship. Is the Sovereign class. I think we've got another one here. Yeah, another one. The USS Valkyrie. Yeah, and they are actually, they're not just random, generic Sovereign class. If you check, they've got the the NCCs there, the proper one. 74887. You can just make it out there. Look. So super duper. Anyway, next up, I like the Sovereign class. I do. But the Galaxy class will always be my favourite. It will. Right, next up, making at Sean Turango Luna class a cannon ship was a great honour, as his passion for design inspires us all. Number 9, USS Europa, NCC 80104. And number 10 is a salute to Nichelle Nichols with USS Uhura, NCC 90214. Reliant class number 11 is Akira, is it? I don't know about it being a classic Reliant class. Akira, USS Thunderchild, NCC 63549, number 12, USS Huygens. So anyway, what we got here then? USS Luna, a Luna class starship. So that's obviously the first of its kind. Look, more yellow things. Look, what are they? Trek yards. What are them yellow things? Hey. Anyway, I said we've seen that one before. I think. Did we see these in the Battle of Sector 001 in Star Trek First Contact? Obviously, this is a slightly smaller ship, about half the size. Well, is it? No, it's about 2/3 the size, isn't it, of a Sovereign class and Ross Galaxy class. But it does look a lot smaller. If they're the escape pods, they look must be big ones. There must be big ones. And then windows as well, look quite big for a ship that's 453 metres long. Anyway, it's all nacelles though, isn't it, just about? What's next? USS Uhura. There we go. Oh, Reliant class starship. Obviously the USS Reliant from Star Trek 2. That wasn't a Reliant. Oh, what class was that now? Oh, my brain's gone bye. I forgot what class USS Reliant is. It's gone. Yeah, anyway, but obviously, this is probably named after that ship, which was obviously destroyed, wasn't it, in the Mutara Nebula with the Genesis device. Yeah, so this is obviously in honour. Big yellow things again, look, an upside down smiley face this time. This one's by Hector Ortiz, this design. And it's okay, obviously reminiscent of the Reliant. God, what class was it? Because, it popped up lots of times, did that design, didn't it? That class of ship. It was in Deep Space Nine, episode 1, with the Saratoga. That was that class of ship as well. And the USS Bozeman in Next Generation. That was a Soyuz class, but it was a variant of Miranda class. There we go. Ooh, got there at end. Miranda class. So obviously it's reminiscent of the Miranda class with its nacelles underneath the saucer section and that bit there. I don't know what's for. Some sort of I think that you could change. The variations are different things on these this arch, didn't they? You could have like weapons or science instruments and stuff like that. Obviously the bridge is there, isn't it? Can't see any windows. I can't zoom in because it's on Twitter. USS Thunderchild, Akira class. Yeah, we saw this at the Battle of Sector 001. I think we might have actually seen this very ship. No, maybe not this. Well, yeah, because it's roughly the same time frame, and it's 30 years later. So this could be the same ship. I'm sure it was the Thunderchild we saw at that in First Contact. There we go. And that's got one of these as well. But as you can see, it's similar to the NX-01, isn't it? And I think they took the design. I think this came first, and they took this design and fiddled with it and made it into the NX-01, which I think is a great design. I do. And there we go. The Sutherland class starship, USS Huygens. The Huygens was an astronomer or something, wasn't he? It got a Huygens probe named after him that dived into the atmosphere of Titan a few years ago and landed, didn't it? Landed on Titan. So here we go. This is a Nebula class variant. There's differences in there. I think the struts there are a different shape. I think they're more curved out there on the Nebula class, and it's got enclosed Bussard collectors. Don't know what that would know. Why would you cover them up? Protection? Are they expecting to go into battle? Don't know. More yellow things, more smiley faces. Look outside. Don't know what they're for. I can't imagine seeing much out of these windows, can you? And if they curve out that way a bit, so you can sort of like look down. Otherwise, you'll just be seeing just top of the ship, won't you? That part there will dominate your view. Oh, that's it for that one. There we go. Right, so number 13, another Reliant class, USS Clark, NCC 90206. Numbers 14 and 15 are a pair of Sutherland class ships, USS Ibn al-Haytham, NCC 91965, USS Sutherland, NCC 91800, and number 16, another Akira class, the USS Helios, NCC 63284. Right, here we go. USS Clark, there we go, the Reliant class. It looks more like the Miranda class from behind, doesn't it? With these shuttle bays there. And the Clark, is it named after the... I think it was the Clark, wasn't it? In Discovery Season 1. Discovery's sister ship, wasn't it? What was it? The Crossfield class. It got destroyed, didn't it? Well, they had to destroy it, didn't they? Because it all went wrong, did its spore drive, didn't it? I think that was the USS Clark, I do believe. But you see, these are a lot smaller, 251 metres, a lot smaller than the Sutherland class and the Ross class and the Sovereign class that we've seen. USS, I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, I don't even know who it is. Ibn al-Haytham. Sounds, I don't know. So we'll look it up. Let's look it up. Going to Google. Look up Ibn al-Haytham. Wonder what it'll find. Ibn al-Haytham. There we go. Mathematician. There we go. An Arab mathematician in the 10th century in Basra, Iraq. Very good. There we go. So that's where that name comes from. And that's another Sutherland class. It looks a bit dodgy there, doesn't it? A few photon torpedoes, and then that'll be off. Anyway, next up. And the USS Sutherland itself, the first of its kind in this class. There you go. Wonder what they are. Are they photon launchers? Don't know. Could be anything. But I love starships, and this has got upside down smiley face there, look. And of course they've got phaser strips, look. Good to see phaser strips back. Light that goes... That's what we want to see. Instead of all these pew, 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 we want to see... Don't we? Well, I do. And so do you. We just won't admit it. USS Helios, another Akira class. Obviously, Helios was the Greek god of the sun. And there we go. See, that's what the bussards on the Sutherland class should look like, shouldn't they? But they've covered them up. They've got, guards on for some reason. Right, so we've gone to the next lot. Got a lot to go through. There it is, I'm telling you. Next up, 2 Inquiry class, number 17, USS Magellan, NCC 86509. Is it Magellan or Magellan? I don't know. Some people say Magellan, some people say Magellan. I say Magellan. Number 18, USS Shackleton, NCC 86517. And number 19, Reliant class, USS Reliant, NCC 90200. And at Thomas the Cat hopefully can chime in on the design. I hope maybe he can, I don't know. There are replies. The link for this tweet, is this thread is, in the description. So if you want to look at the other replies and stuff, feel free to do so. And number 20, the Luna class USS Oberon, NCC 80103. So here we go, USS Magellan, another Inquiry class with its sawtooth edge and smiley faces. But they're all right. They're growing on me. That bridge section seems a bit exposed, doesn't it? Stuck up. But then most Starfleet bridges are. Most, not all. But I don't know what's so good about them though, because Riker said that the toughest, meanest ships in Starfleet, and so what's so tough and mean about them? Hey, what's so tough and mean? Just because they look mean, because they look like blades, don't they? Almost Klingon in design, but not. And another one, USS Shackleton, obviously named after Ernest Shackleton and his ill-fated voyage to this to Antarctica. Antarctica, Robert, the north, the Arctic. Oh, I got mixed up now. I got mixed up in my history. Oh, did he do both? I can't remember. There we go. More yellow bits. Yeah, very good. What's that? Is that a shuttle bay there at front? Where's the deflector? Don't know. Is it underneath? I don't think I've seen one of these from underneath. Maybe we'll see one in a bit. Oh, pardon me. A USS Reliant class, obviously a Miranda variant or a Miranda update in it. It's a bit more curvy in it than the old Mirandas, which are a cool ship. And somebody worked out that a Miranda class starship had more internal area than the Constitution class, like the Enterprise. Yeah, there's more space in this parts here. Can you see my mouse on there? Yes, you can. More space in this parts than in the what they call it, engineering section of a Constitution class. So there you go. So even though it seems more compact, it's actually a bigger volume. And another upside down. It's not smiley face, is it? It's a face. I wonder what it is. USS Oberon, Luna class starship. It looks a bit like Voyager from back, doesn't it? There, yeah, reminiscent. But I bet they don't go before it goes into warp. I like Voyager. Intrepid class is Voyager. Thought I'd let you know. But you knew that already. What's that? What's that there? Is that a phaser? Or a photon? No, it'll be a rear launcher, won't it? Rear photon torpedo launcher. Yeah, very good. There's its there the impulse engines there. So does the saucer section detach? Don't look like it, does it? If it does, what powers the don't the engineering section have a? I can't tell. Have a impulse engines? Maybe it has there. Or maybe it don't. Maybe the saucer section don't detach on the Luna class, because they're not massive, have they? Anyway, whatever. Right, two more sovereigns. USS 21, USS Venture, NCC 75306, and number 22, Sovereign, USS Arsino, NCC 5307, and number 23, the Ross class, USS Yinsun Sin, NCC 7645, and number 24, the Sovereign USS Hutchinson, NCC 74975. The Eve's design of the Sovereign is one of my favourites, and mine too, Dave. There we go. It is a lovely ship. It is. There's the bridge there, stuck up there. Keep your bridges at the top. None of this putting them underneath like they did with the Ching Jong, whatever they called it. Giorgio's ship. They call it Shenzhou. What is Shenzhou? Whatever. Putting it underneath. I don't know. But yeah, very good. That's the Venture. Is that named after the ship in King Kong? I don't know. That was the Venture, wasn't it? Could be. USS, I've no idea what that name means. Arsino, no idea. I'll not look it up. You can do that yourself. There you go. There's the impulse engines. They're big buggers, aren't they? I know the saucer section supposedly can detach from a Sovereign class, but I don't know where the secondary hull's impulse drive is. Maybe it doesn't have one, because everybody's got to escape on the saucer section, haven't they? But I digress. And another saucer section, the USS Yi Sun Sin. Got to be some Chinese person, hasn't it? Oh no, it's a Ross class, isn't it? Sorry, not another sovereign class. I thought all these were sovereign classes, but no, it's his Ross class, isn't it? It's obviously a Galaxy variant, but they've changed that, haven't they? That's a bit more curved, isn't it? These struts to the nacelles. And it's it's all right. It's a nice ship. A nice ship is that. You don't see much from that angle, right? But this above, you can just see it from me. Can you see it from me? Oh, that'd be right. Move it over a bit. There we go. There we go. See that there? So, it's a niceish shape, I suppose, isn't it? A nice. I think on the Galaxy class that were a bit more. That were straighter along the back, wasn't it? Didn't swoop outwards like that. Anyway, we'll move it back over that way a little bit. Next up, USS Hutchinson, another sovereign class. Seeing it from behind again. I don't know where this name's from. I doubt it's from Starsky and Hutch, David Soul's character. Is it Commander Hutchinson, who were in the Next Generation episode Starship Mine, who was a master of small talk, who got killed, didn't he? So is it in his memory? I don't know. Be nice if it were, because, he seemed a nice fella, but just, he were, like me, he were boring. Anyway. Right, on we go. A second Excelsior 2 class, the USS Eureka, NCC 42023, is in position. Number 25. Next is the USS Hrothgar, NCC 74975, and USS Okuda, NCC 74107, both sovereign class. At 26 and 27, another canon edition, the Akira class, USS Rabin, NCC 63293. There we go, USS Eureka, which is obviously what Archimedes said when he, in his bath, didn't he, when he worked out volumes and liquid volumes and all that. This is the Excelsior 2 class. Don't like that. That nacelle. It looks a bit wonky. But it's alright, I'm not saying it's horrible, but, that's a bit wonky. And I've never liked this part. I don't know what it's for. I don't know what that grill's for. But, it's okay. It looks nice from side. And on top, like I say, from top it looks slightly reminiscent of the Sovereign class. Apart from that bit. But it's okay. USS Hrothgar. Well, that is Hrothgar in Beowulf. Is it? I can't remember. It rings a bell. It's from somewhere like that, isn't it? Yeah, another sovereign class. Another from behind. Seeing the nacelles. Why they give it such long nacelles? And the USS Okuda, obviously named after Mike and Denise Okuda, who did all the displays and stuff and all that, and the Star Trek sets. The legendary set designers and display designers and all that. Cool people. Follow them on Facebook and Twitter and all that. It's another sovereign class anyway. Nice to have a ship named after you, ain't it? Better than a USS, that old Yorkshire geek. USS, is it Rabin or Rabin? I don't know where that name's from. Sure it means something to somebody, but not me. Another Akira class. Right, well, we've seen them. Yeah, still going. I don't know how long we've got to go here. It can't be far off now. I said 34 and we're on 29. At 29 we find the Sovereign USS Pachacuti. I don't know if that's pronounced properly. NCC 74181 and number 30 and 31 are Inquiry class USS Nathan Hale. That rings a bell. NCC 86501 and the biggest, baddest ship in the fleet even shows up to tangle with the Borg, the USS Zheng He. NCC 86505 rounds out the list. Oh, right. Right, so there we go. USS Pachacuti. I don't know who that is. Sorry, if it's somebody super famous or whatever, or some super famous place from, history or event. I'm sorry, I don't know it. It's a sovereign class anyway, and it looks lovely. The USS Nathan Hale, it's in inquiry class. As I said, I'm not entirely sold, but it's not horrible. It's not horrible at all. But it's no sovereign class, is it? And the USS Zheng which is what Riker were on it at end of season 1. So yeah, there we go. And that's it, I think. Then we're looking at there's some like things of shuttles, long range shuttle. I think that's what Picard arrived at, didn't he? At the Stargazer, wherever it is, It didn't take him long to get there. There's some pictures of the Borg, what they call it, concept designs for the Borg ship. People have said it looks like something rude in space, which it doesn't really. Like I say, it reminds me more of a Cylon base star from the new Battlestar Galactica. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. That's it for that. Anyway, them ships were cool to look at, and I really enjoyed looking at them. Sorry if I bored you to death, but it's Starship porn, and it's ace. Right, 3 new Star Wars movie trilogy box sets are heading to DVD and Blu-ray. Star Wars movies are all coming back to DVD and Blu-ray in time for this year's Star Wars Day. More details here. It's been a while since we've had physical media releases of Star Wars films in new packaging, designed to try and get us to buy the films we've already bought all over again. The last time was this enormous Skywalker Saga box set, which is full of that link, in early 2020. Now rest assured, normal service has been resumed as Disney announces a trilogy box sets across on both DVD and Blu-ray. As is the norm, what about 4K? As is the norm, these don't appear to add anything new, including instead being repackaging of the previous releases. We're not expecting any further George Lucas tinkering either. What you do get, I mean, last time he added the famous McClunky bit, wasn't he, on the Greedo shooting, shooting and hand shot, that bit. What you do get is new artwork for each set with the extra features carried over from the previous releases. The listings for each of them have all gone live too, and there's links there for them. Original, prequel and sequels. But what about 4Ks? These are all on sale on May 2nd, 2022, just in time for this year's Star Wars Day. It's almost as if they're new. They're all up for pre-order now. Let's follow one and see if we're going to get a new tab. If there's going to be 4K. Oh, UHD, yes, it's going to be 4K. Ooh, not paying the 200 bloody quid though. Oh, that's the massive one, isn't it, that we're talking about? I don't know then. I don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, we'll see. If they come out on 4K and it's not like a stupid price, I'd get them. I would. Right, we're on to 2 slightly controversial stories now. And I'll dig a hole for myself, I'm sure I will, and I'll put my foot in my mouth and I'll say all the wrong things. So I apologise in advance. I don't mean to sound, any phobic or out like that, but I don't mean to. If I do. Anyway, Ian McKellen doesn't think gay roles should be reserved for gay actors. We're pretending. Does that mean I can't play straight parts and I'm not allowed to explore the fascinating subject of heterosexuality in Macbeth? Sir Ian McKellen refuses to be put in a box. And he doesn't want anyone else put in one either. The X-Men and Lord of the Rings actor recently addressed the controversy surrounding the casting of Dame Helen Mirren as Golda Meir, Israel's Prime Minister, in a lengthy interview with BBC Two. There are 2 things. Is the argument that a Gentile cannot play a Jew, and is the argument therefore, that a Jew cannot play a Gentile. McKellen replied when asked about the backlash over the fact that Mirren is not Jewish. He then took his answer one step further. Farther. Touching on his own feelings as a gay man in Hollywood. Is the argument that a straight man cannot play a gay part, and if so, does that mean I can't play straight parts and I'm not allowed to explore the fascinating subject of heterosexuality in Macbeth? McKellen asked incredulously. Surely not. We're acting, we're pretending, and there he is, bless him. The subject of straight actors playing LGBTQ characters and vice versa has long been a debate in Hollywood, with many performers recently weighing in on the matter. In January 2021, Neil Patrick Harris told The Times he wasn't someone who jumped onto labelling, adding, as an actor you certainly hope you can be a visible option for all kinds of different roles. I played a character in How I Met Your Mother for 9 years who was nothing like me. Meanwhile, stars like Wentworth Miller, who came out later in life, are adamant about playing only roles with which they identify. Not a very good actor then, are you? Back in November, the actor stated he wouldn't participate in a Prison Break revival because he no longer felt comfortable portraying his character. I just don't want to play straight characters. Their stories have been told and told. So no more Michael, he wrote in an Instagram post. He then addressed the reaction to his decision in a follow-up post explaining, at this point in my life/career, it's what feels interesting, inspiring, right? That said, do I want to see more gay parts played by gay actors? Yes, it makes a difference performance-wise, in my opinion, but also because straight actors playing gay centres straightness. Straight actors playing gay centre straightness. Doesn't matter if they're acting. I still know what I'm looking at. I don't know. I'm not sure what he's getting at. I think he means it. If you're gay, you can tell if another person is pretending to be gay. I think that's what he's saying. Maybe he can, maybe others can, maybe others can't. Depends on the actor, doesn't it? Meanwhile, Kristen Stewart, who starred in Hulu's 2020 lesbian rom-com Happiest Season, told NBC at the time that she would never want to tell a story that really should be told by somebody who's lived that experience. Having said that, it's a slippery slope conversation because that means I could never play another straight character if I'm going to hold everyone to the letter of this particular law, continued Stewart. I think it's such a grey area. Well, yeah, no, it's whoever is the best for the role. It doesn't matter if it's a gay character, and they do auditions, don't they, for the roles, unless they've written the character for a specific actor. But they usually do auditions, and whoever is the best in the audition should get the role, whether they're gay or not. However they come across to the director and the casting director and the producers, they should get that role, whether they're gay or not. I would say it's acting. As Patrick Stewart, well, the mates out there, as Ian McKellen said, they are. Where are we? Where does he say it? There we go. We're acting. We're pretending. So they should be able to do it. Like he said in when he were in what extras he were in. I keep calling Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, where he said the secret of acting is they give you a script with all your lines written on, and you read them out as the character you're being. So it says, it's Ian, Gandalf, you shall not pass! Ian. Obviously, I'm not Ian McKellen. But yeah, I think you shouldn't make it so that only people of a certain disposition or a certain life experience can play characters that have had that same life experience. I suppose it helps if they have and they get the part, then fair enough. But as I said at the audition stage, if somebody who's just acting can get across to the director and producers and that what they want, then fair enough. And this could follow over to the next thing, because we're going on to, instead of LGBTQ, we're on about race now. Netflix's Vikings Valhalla race and gender swaps historical Norwegian ruler Jarl Hakon. And that's who Jarl Hakon is in Vikings Valhalla. And I were on about one a while ago, and I were on about Lord of the Rings, and we've got like black dwarves and black elves. And I was saying, it's based on Tolkien, he wanted it to be an English mythology, so it's like Northern European mythology, so there won't be like black people in it, basically. So now, and I said at the time, I don't know because I haven't watched it, Vikings. I said, but I bet there's not many black people in Vikings. I don't know about the original series Vikings, and I haven't watched this one either. But apparently, there we go. We've got one in this new Viking series. Anyway, building upon the groundwork laid by the history-bending castings of Anne Boleyn and Queen Charlotte. I don't know that one. I know the Anne Boleyn one, but I don't know Queen Charlotte. The historically white and male Norwegian, I spelled that wrong, Norwegian ruler Jarl Hakon has been both race and gender swapped for his appearance in Netflix's Vikings Valhalla. Oh, pardon me. A Netflix exclusive sequel to history's original Vikings series, Vikings Valhalla, picks up 100 years after Ivar the Boneless. I've not seen it, so I don't know who it is. Boneless, I just thought a boneless chicken from Cow and Chicken. Sorry. Ivar the Boneless began the Norse invasion of England and focuses on the European clash between Christianity and paganism beliefs, as well as the end of the Viking Age. Introduced in the series' premiere episode and portrayed by Danish pop jazz singer Caroline Henderson, Jarl Hakon is depicted as the benevolent and wise ruler of the Kattegat region in Denmark, itself shown as an open haven for people of various faiths and ethnicities during a time of conflict based on these attributes. And this is Caroline Henderson as Jarl Hakon, Bradley Freegard as Canute in episode 101 of Vikings Valhalla. So he's got to go and make the sea go back, I'm thinking Canute. And he doesn't. Though the character has regularly been put forth by the series' cast and crew as an entirely fictional character, given both the character's name and role in the story, it's clear that Henderson's Jarl Hakon was based on a real-world Norse ruler of the same name. Born Hakon Sigurdsson in roughly 937, Jarl Hakon, Jarl being the Norse culture equivalent of a king, the Trondelag and the Halagaland coastal regions of Norway between 961 to 995, following the murder of his father by his rival King Harold. There's a drawing of him. Looks a bit fed up, doesn't he? He's got a lot on his mind there. Thinking, I wonder if in like 1,000 and a bit years I'll be portrayed by, a woman of colour. That's what he's thinking. During his time in charge, Hakon not only oversaw a number of military campaigns against his European neighbours, as most Viking leaders did, but also stood fast as one of the last pagan rulers of Norway, doing what he could to prevent the spread of Christianity and reinforce the worship of the Norse gods, even after being forcefully baptised in 975. And there's another drawing. Don't know what's going on there. They're measuring something. Is that long, my lord? Don't believe you. I'm going to go outside and play my horn. That's what he's saying. Explaining his decision to race and gender swap the real-world historical figure, series creator Jeb Stewart told Decider, I did a lot of research on the Vikings and I certainly wasn't about to put a person of colour into a role that the actor would spend all the time saying, I don't know why I'm here. But the fact of the matter is that we do know that the Vikings spent a good bit of time by the time of my story going through the Mediterranean, and they spent a lot of time in Egypt, he continued. But they also found as they went into different cultures they didn't dominate, they didn't conquer. What they did was they assimilated and they brought people in. For this particular time, we know for a fact that there were people of colour who had come up with the Vikings around the Iberian Peninsula, Stewart then claimed, likely referring to recent attempts in academia to overemphasise the diversity of ancient cultures based on modern cultural readings of vague texts. There were Vikings who ended up in Ireland who were from North Africa. There were sub-Saharan Vikings who had come up and had married Vikings or had been brought into it. Was Jarl Hakon based on a particular person, he concluded? No, but it was based on an amalgamation of lots of interesting stories. This rhetoric, this is from Bounding into Comics, by the way, so there could be a bit fruity language coming up. Not fruity, but you know what I mean. This rhetoric was also put forth by Henderson herself, who, in response to being asked by Netflix, what would you say to those who say that a black woman can't be a Viking queen, asserted, I would say that you should do your research, because even though Jarl Hakon is a fictional character, but most likely there have been people of colour who ruled. We know that through DNA and research, she said, we know for a fact that they mixed and travelled all over the place, much more than we knew 100 years ago. Now we actually know through science that Vikings were really travellers, and of course they mixed cultures and babies, and knowledge and foods and slaves, and yes, of course, they were mixed. Henderson further asserted, they were not this little isolated colony up north. There might have been a black Jarl Hakon or a Russian Jarl Hakon, or somebody from Asia or Native American, most likely. If you want to know about stuff, what really happened, there's so much research and interesting stuff you can dig into. What do you make of Jarl Hakon's race and gender swap? Let us know your thoughts on social media or in the comments down below. That's after reading that, I ain't got a problem with it, to be honest. You know, if the research shows that they did intermingle with other races, it is possible that somebody ended up back in Denmark. A person of colour could have ended up in a position of power. I think it's unlikely, to be honest, but it's possible, isn't it? You can't say it's impossible. I think it's unlikely, but it's not impossible. There you go. I think this is more likely than the fictional. It's going to sound silly, but the fictional world of Tolkien. But I'm just being. I don't know. I'm just being silly now, I suppose, aren't I? I'm accepting this, which is based, loosely based on historical events, and saying that this is more likely than a fictional story. So, I don't know. As I said, digging a hole for myself. Anyway. Right. This is today's On This Day. So this is a finally. It's not quite finally, but nearly finally. On this day. Right. On this day in 1973, the comet Kohoutek was discovered. So this is a story about it. How the comet of the century became an astronomical disappointment. This story is from a couple of years ago, but the comet was discovered on this day in 1973. So I thought I'd read this story. Comet Kohoutek caused quite a stir when it blazed into the night sky in 1974 before suddenly fading from view. And there's a photo of it. During the recent holiday season, while doing a bit of house cleaning, I came across a relic from 46 years ago, a Christmas card from 1973 celebrating the impending arrival of what was supposed to be a once-in-a-lifetime sight, a dazzling comet, the comet Kohoutek. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. C 1973 E1. I looked at the card and let out a small sigh. For those of a certain age, the name Kohoutek will always be linked to the celestial spectacle that never was. Christened for months as the comet of the century, the object never came remotely close to living up to expectations. As one of my fellow stargazing compatriots later commented, it was one of the few comets that came with a fuse attached to it. It was a bomb of unbelievable proportions. And there's the card. that they've just mentioned. Who we're reading anyway? Who is it? Joe Rao. So it's a fella. His card. Comet Kohoutek was discovered at Hamburg Observatory in Germany by astronomer Dr. Lubos Kohoutek. Pronounced. Is that Kohoutek or Kohoutek? Kohoutek, we'll say. Kohoutek. I apologise, I've been saying it wrong. Kohoutek. On March the 7th, which is today, 1973. Which is 49 years ago, while he was making photographic observations of asteroids. When first sighted, the comet was some 465 million miles, or 748 million kilometres, from the Sun, out near the orbit of Jupiter, although nowhere near the planet itself. At the time, this was a record farthest distance for the discovery of a comet, and it was then relatively bright. As far as comets go, for being so far from the Sun. The hope was that if it was so bright and unusual, then it would continue to be bright and unusual as it neared the Sun. But it merely remained unusual rather than getting bright. The first predictions indicated that Kohoutek, crikey, would become visible to the naked eye in early November. Or is it Kohoutek? I don't know. In early November. In the early morning sky and brightened to second magnitude, as bright as Polaris, the North Star, by Thanksgiving, and then become as bright as the planet Jupiter, magnitude -2, by mid-December. On December 28th, the comet would arrive at perihelion, its closest point to the Sun, just 13.2 million miles away. Estimates of its brightness excuse me, then ranged upwards to a resplendent magnitude of -10. Good heavens. So bright that it might be possible to see the comet in full daylight with the naked eye by simply blocking the Sun with an outstretched hand. I think the moon, the moon's magnitude, is it -26, full moon. So -10 is pretty bright. Then all through January 1974, the comet, having switched over into the evening sky, was forecast to evolve into a spectacular object, accompanied by a long gossamer tail, so bright that even from the big cities it would be plainly evident. Racing back out into the distant reaches of space, the comet would slowly fade, finally becoming invisible to the naked eye by mid-February. And here's some pictures, artist conceptions of a changing comet Kohoutek. Oh, God. He's told us how to pronounce it, I still can't do it. Based on sketches and descriptions by Skylab 3 astronaut Edward G. Gibson. How's this going for? Yeah, anyway. I'm not reading all this, it's too much. The link is in the description, and I've been talking for long enough. Like I say, it was discovered. Anyway, it got bright, and then it fizzled out, basically, didn't it? And there's a nice photo of it. Nice-ish photo. Yeah. So if you want to read the rest of that. So that was discovered on this day in 1973. But also on this day, so let's get rid of that. That was the last story. Oh, where's my mouse thing? It's there. Get rid of that. Also on this day in... Badoom. Oh, I can't see from the thing. There we go. March 7th, 1992, the first case for Mulder and Scully on the X-Files. There you go. In the pilot episode, which was called Pilot. That's original, isn't it? Where they went up to Oregon. Somebody'd been abducted by aliens, and they came back. They found their dead bodies with the little dots on the back, just above the bum. Didn't they? So that was on March 7th, 1992. I saw another thing actually online. It said it was 1993, but obviously I checked on my X-Files collection. I got my things out, and there it said 1992 on the thing, and it's on Disney Plus, so you can watch it on there if you want to. And I might do actually, because I like the X-Files, and I haven't watched it for a while. Prefer the early seasons most, up to like season 6 or so. After that, I'm not really bothered about it, to be honest. Although, there were some good episodes, and Doggett and Reyes were okay, but there were no Mulder and Scully, were there? There were no Mulder and Scully. So there you go. So 2 on this day, as a comet was discovered in 1974, and the fictional X-Files first case was on March the 7th, 1992, when they got there. Some have said, I looked on the internet, I've done a bit of research, crikey, that said March 7th was when Agent Scully was, ordered to debunk, to start to become Agent Mulder's partner and debunk his X-Files cases. But I think that was the day before, because I don't think that happened this day, because this looks, they started in Washington and flew out to Oregon, and I don't think they'd ever, it'd have been the same day. I think that was the day before, March the 6th, when she was tasked with debunking Mulder's work. So anyway, so there you go. And that's them arriving at the coastal northwest in Oregon. Right, let's get rid of that. And we'll make me bigger again. Whee! Whee! No princess interrupting tonight, running past. She did it before. She's gone outside. Thought she wanted feeding, and I put some food in a dish, and she just looked at me and then looked at the door. I opened the door, she ran out. So there you go. Cats, eh? Cats. Right, we'll leave it there. So, thank you for watching. And wherever you are in the world, be nice to each other, because we're still living in crazy times. Crazy, crazy times. And prices are going up because of this thing that's happening in the Ukraine. Fuel prices are going up. Filled my car up today with petrol. I thought I'd better do it before people start rushing to the petrol stations. 45 quid nearly. And my tank wasn't even empty. About a quarter full. 45 quid. And I've only got a little car. I've not got a big gas guzzler. Unbelievable. It'll only get worse. It'll only get worse. Oil prices are going up. Anyway, I'm being all pessimistic. So wherever you are, be nice to each other and help each other out whenever you can. So until tomorrow, we'll probably have some more news. Some good news, I hope. And I'm sure there will be. So until tomorrow, I'll see thee.